We're back in, and I've got my boombox going. Alright. Unfortunately, it seems that I'm going to have to pay Gart. So, let's go in and pay the metaphorical piper and the literal cafeteria manager. Oh, all the people are gone. No, they're not all gone. But it's settled down in here a lot. The disco ball isn't going. Most of the people that were here are gone. The kitchen's closed again. I'm walking in here blaring this boombox. Let's, put my ship-shaped, literally ship-shape, bottle of pale-aged vodka that cost me 30 real. Alright. Fine, Gart, I'll fucking pay you. As much as as much as it pains me. It pains me to pay you. I'll pay you. So much pain.
Can I help you?
He arches an eyebrow. So, about that money I owe. Yes, have you got it? I was wondering if we could come to some sort of arrangement for tonight. Does that arrangement include you paying me what we already agreed you owe me? It's cold out. I'll freeze to death because I'm losing the stupid money game. Game? Everything is just a game to you, isn't it? How much do I owe you again? A lot. A lot. For the room, drinks, and broken window. 130 real. I have your money. He glares at you suspiciously. Well? Slam the bills down on the counter. I hope you choke on it. Great, perfect. I hope you enjoy your freezing cold room with the window you broke yourself. I got 70 XP for that. Damn. Really worn down his patience. Even paying him didn't help. He takes out his keychain and fiddles with the mechanism behind the counter. The electronic lock to your room has been disabled until 2100 tomorrow. Starting tomorrow, please pay for each night in advance. 20 real per night. He opens his wallet. I'll take a room here too. He takes Kim's money and hands him a key ring. Always happy to have officers from the RCM as guests. Anything else I can do for you? He looks at Kim, avoiding your gaze. Will he pour me a drink yet? Oh, he's still gonna do the whole thing about the shaker. Alright, yeah, I get it. You're a douche. Alright, well, we have rooms. You need to find 20 real to pay for your room at the Whirling, or it will be locked after 2100. As long as you don't have a free place to stay, you have to do this every night. I did actually pay Garth the money I owed him. So, how many skill points do I have? 2, apparently. So I'll save 1 to use for the thought cabinet, and I'll spend 1. Why is Shivers only a 7? I thought it was an 8. Bonuses from items, bonuses from thoughts. Oh, because I put my disco-ass blazer back on. There we go. 9, 8, and 7. I guess I gotta go into Inland Empire since that's the lowest one out of my 3 here. I got 9, 8, 8. Next level I'll put into Shivers. And I'll save the other skill point for thought cabinet. Thought cabinetry.
Yes?
Okay. So let's go to the balcony where we can have our end of night discussion. So this room here, this other room must be... Oh, maybe his room connects to my room through that other door. Let's go out onto the balcony and we can have a little discussion now, hopefully. By 2 o'clock, everyone's asleep. I wonder what happens, like, if you stay up late... I wonder if you sleep 8 hours from whenever you stayed up to into the next day, or if you always get up at the same time, or how it works. Alright, how do we have this special conversation?
Yes?
I feel like I could probably pull this off. But I don't really want to while I have only 1 morale. Just in case. Actually, this isn't gonna make me lose morale, I'm sure. Well, I'm not sure, but See, why does that have a clock next to it like I can't do it? Join him on the Whirling in Rags balcony after 2200 when you're calling it a day. Well, here we are on the balcony. This is the door to the room you redecorated. Good night, Lieutenant.
Just a moment. You had some questions earlier, I believe. And besides, we should discuss our progress on the investigation. Let's go out to the balcony.
God damn it, Kim, we were just on the balcony, motherfucker. Alright, let's go. Pulling a Kim. That's some Kim crackery right there. Which is like Gim crackery, but from Kim. The air outside is brisk. The lieutenant is silent for a moment. He listens to the traffic hum, then...
Where shall we begin? We should talk about the investigation, first and foremost. But I also remember you wanting to discuss the RCM?
He lights a cigarette. Say nothing, just look into the night. I didn't know you smoked, Kim. I have a cigarette every night when I go over my notes. It's something of a ritual. Oh man! It looks so devastatingly cool with that cigarette! Cigarette's such a great idea. I think I'm gonna have one too. He blows a steady stream of smoke. Your call, detective. Again, I only have exactly one every night. Ooh, we got some shivers. Below, the city trembles with its remaining lights. People are rushing home, running away from home, smoking, sleeping, singing in the shower. Edges of dining tables, hands, aprons flicker through windows before the lights go out. How'd you get so cool, Kim? The light of his cigarette illuminates a fleeting smile. You mean this? He flicks the ash. This isn't cool. It's an unnecessary trial of will, and unhealthy. Alright then, the debrief. Yes. He pulls on the cigarette. It's been a long and eventful day. Well, how do you think today went? Considering I didn't get the body down, and I didn't question a single person about the actual case. So we just wasted the whole day walking around, fucking around, talking to people about other shit. Well, how do you think today went? The lieutenant raises his eyebrows. Well, we didn't even look at the body. And there's still much to do at the crime scene, too. We didn't search it thoroughly enough. He would have put all this more harshly, but he doesn't want you to feel completely discouraged. Probably because he's afraid that you'll just give up and keep drinking. A lot of confidence Kim has in me. It's all part of the plan. Starting from the outside and working back toward the scene of the murder. That's a terrible plan. I'm not gonna say I'm sorry. I'm not sorry, cop. It's all part of the plan. Starting from the outside and working back toward the scene of the murder. It's not my job to evaluate your methodology, officer. I'm just going through the facts. As for the interviews, what's the blue and orange pips on top of your portrait? This is my health, and this is my morale, which is basically like my mental health. And these things above them are how many drugs to heal that particular thing that I have. I have 0 left for morale, and I have 4 for health. And they go down a lot of times when things happen to you in the game or you fail skill checks or whatever. And if either of them gets to 0, it's game over. How you doing, Askell? I'm just going through the facts. As for the interviews, we conducted an interview with Everard Clare. He wasn't particularly forthcoming with useful information, however. Well, I'm sure I can get him to tell us more. Clare also helped you. How should I say? Remember your name? That's a relief. I want a different name. One I haven't ruined yet. You can look into the process of changing your name after we finish this investigation. We talked to Joyce Messier, but didn't get any information from her. Because I didn't ask her anything about the case. Same with the other guy. He frowns. I have a feeling Joyce knows how dangerous the situation really is. We have to get her to talk to us. Above all, though, today was exhausting. What's with all the running? You run a lot. Is that a standard Precinct 41 practice? I have a really good theory about why you're running so fast, son. Just you wait till we get up tomorrow. Part of the Jamrock Shuffle. I don't like to waste time. I'm training for a long-distance run. I want to raise money for charity. Well, the one that fits my character the most is number 5. I don't know why I do the things I do, Lieutenant Kisaragi. He nods thoughtfully, tapping his finger on his cigarette. It's impressive, especially for a man your age, and in those heels. He looks at your snakeskin shoes and smiles suddenly. Nice shoes, by the way. I like the green. Goes with the orange. So, what are our powers exactly? The RCM? They're quite limited, actually. The power officers of the Revachol Citizens Militia exercise most frequently is imposing fines of up to 1,000 real for offenses, in accordance with an interdepartmental schedule. 1,000? Why not more? The RCM's primary role is to ensure safety. We're not really supposed to play any part in the economic structure of Revachol. Wouldn't that be an easy power to abuse? Yes, although indirectly, as citizens can always request records from their local station. Officers of the RCM have been known to take bribes of less than the prescribed fine amount. He frowns. It undermines trust in the RCM. Okay, what else? We can arrest people, of course, but rather than bringing someone in directly, it's preferable to serve a station call slip. It prevents confusion and overcrowding. Wait, how can you be sure the arrestee will show up?
You can't. Those who don't show up become fugitives, though, and have fewer legal rights when they are eventually caught. It's about power projection. Thus far, they seem to mostly show up.
I see. And if someone resists?
We are permitted to use whatever force we deem necessary, even lethal.
Wait, so if I kill someone while on duty...
You have to supply compelling evidence for why it was necessary to use lethal force. In these cases, your partner is usually your witness. Not a good position to be in, by the way. Internal Affairs handles these cases thoroughly, by cross-examining you for inconsistencies. It's hard to cover for anyone, which is for the best.
Have I killed anyone?
That's an improbability. Perhaps even impossibility.
Of course you've killed people. It's somewhere down there, melting in all the drink. I must have. I feel it in me.
Precinct 41 is known for a higher than average rate of police violence.
Have you ever killed anyone, Kim?
Yes. He pauses. The last time was 4 years ago.
The last time? How many people have you killed, Kim?
He says it matter-of-factly and moves on.
What happens to the people we convict?
We don't convict. We arrest and send them to coalition government courts. In Kuran and La Delta, the prosecution works off our testimonies and records, which is why it's paramount to keep them.
He taps on his coat pocket where he keeps his notes. Who makes all these rules?
The coalition government and the moral intern more broadly.
The what?
The RCM was formed by the coalition government to restore order in the international zone after the revolution. So we did. Now we attempt to maintain that order. No more, no less.
His gaze is absently fixed on a window below that just went dark.
Or, perhaps it is better to say we were allowed to form. It's a point of contention whether the citizens of Revachol or the coalition government founded the RCM.
Well, let's say it was the citizens of Revachol.
Be sentimental if you like. Either way, the moral intern leases us the right to keep the peace in this city. They will take it away if we misuse it.
Moral intern? What is it?
The Moralist International are the world's largest political organization.
He pulls on his cigarette.
You know who they are. They run this place after the revolution failed.
Well, if I didn't know, how would you describe them?
They're a union of center-left and center-right parties across the Real Belt. Our coalition government is just one of its many projects. They also run the ICP.
They run the Insane Clown Posse? Oh shit, these guys aren't messing around.
EPIS. Most intergovernmental, I'm just making up my own words. Most intergovernmental organizations in the world.
What is your symbol?
Interesting question. It's a blue forget-me-not. Their motto is love, compassion, self-discipline. I think you can gauge what they want you to think of them from that.
Something ominous. Something even a little feminine, but in a strict manner. What do they believe in?
What do they believe in? They are Dolorians. They believe they continue the humanist project set forth by Her Innocence Dolores Day 4 centuries ago. Others say they're just technocrats.
Who was Dolores Day?
A historic figure? The author of the modern age? He thinks. You will have to look elsewhere for opinions. The subject of humanism is too abstract for me.
For you, she is something painful, though it's hard to say why.
What do you...
What do you think of them?
The moral intern are a fact. I try not to have opinions on facts until they change. And
he looks at the city below.
It doesn't look like that's about to happen. It's more than that. There's some kind of affection in him.
You like the moral intern?
Yes, I did when I was younger. In my 20s, I considered myself a moralist. A blue forget-me-not, a piece of the sky, he quotes. They are not all that bad. But the years have changed that. I don't know what I believe in now.
He thinks, then changes his mind.
No. I believe in the RCM. That's enough for me.
Well, I have an opinion on the moral intern.
Do you?
In his head he's thinking, here we go. The lieutenant arches his brow, then pulls on his cigarette. It's a slim white thing in his fingers. Oh look, he's actually smoking. It's animated. These are bad out there. We need them here, giving us the right to police Revachol. They've done an awful job here. We're stooges of the world's biggest bourgeois organization protecting bourgeois rights. Well, I'm trying to push my communism agenda, so I think we're stooges of the world's biggest bourgeois organization protecting bourgeois rights. I like the idea that my character literally doesn't know what bourgeois means. It's just something he heard and now he just repeats it.
No. We are stooges of the world's biggest bourgeois organization, protecting the people of Revachol. That's the hand we were dealt. Without the MI, we would be common vigilantes.
Maybe we should make our own law.
Spoken like a revolutionary, not a cop. But hypothetical aside, in Martinaise we already are vigilantes. At least the Union thinks so. I expect our job here to prove quite challenging.
He looks at the roundabout.
The lights of the orphan district are reflected in his glasses. Red and golden orbs of the motorway, sliding like pearls on a string, from east to west, as Revachol commutes back to the suburbs. Tomorrow is Tuesday. Monday is over.
Let's look into the night. The dying lights of the city shimmer below. Slowly, like luminous clouds, they pass on his lenses. The lieutenant looks at his slim cigarette, contemplating the next drag. This soldier is the highlight of the day for me, he thinks. This little stick right here. He pulls on his cigarette and says,
They really don't like us here. The Union. The teenagers too. It's different inland, in Jamrock. and the GRIH. Why are they like this? It's our fault for leaving this place to the dogs, to the Union Company, not daring to come here more often. This place has fallen between the cracks, the jurisdictions of our 2 precincts. And Jamrock and the GRIH. He looks at the dark silhouette of the equestrian monument cutting into the night sky and says, "We run this city. West of the river is RCM land. It's incredibly hard. Human beings are," shakes his head. "But we are in control, and it's worth it. The organization works. Our systems work. If they didn't, this city would disintegrate." We won't change anything here. "Probably not," he says quietly. "Anyway, positive change happens slowly. We never really get to see the impact of our actions." "Thank you for this." 30 experience. "Yeah, it's getting very cold now. Let's go." He puts out the stub of his cigarette and looks to the door. So we did that one. Got some of those fat XPs.
Yes?
Alright, I think it's bedtime. Well, it's bedtime for Kim at least.
Your guy carrying groceries? He's carrying a plastic trash bag in which he has been picking up trash off the streets in order to sell that trash for, I guess, recycling or whatever. Your character can sleep. See you in the morning. Bye. So Kim has gone into his room. He's no longer in my party, so now I could go out and get up to all sorts of mischief without him. I still can't find that tape in here. I need to boost my perception or something. See, I could use my bed right now. And, What? I can try to fix the faucet? That's cool, now that I have the chain cutters. Chain cutters don't seem like a good thing to fix something with. Also, 3%. Wow, minus 10 for tool not in hand. Did I try to fix the faucet? Just hits the uppers. Well, that's a possibility too, but... 8%? Let's give it a shot. Nope, damaged morale. That's why I saved first. So that would kill me right there. I don't have any morale medicine. Now if I rest, I get all my health and morale back. And it seems like a legitimate thing to do, but not yet. Some more stuff I want to do before I sleep. Yeah, the flashlight's awesome. You can actually shine it where you want. It just follows your mouse cursor. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing right now. Gart's just up all day and looking at, and it even casts like shadows. Like when you shine it on, it's pretty fucking cool. Look, there's even the shadow from the stuffed bird. Look at the wing of the taxidermied bird. That's pretty good, man.
Can I help you?
No. Now everybody's gone. No, still a couple people hanging out. Past midnight. Wow. I guess this place must be open 24 hours. But does... Well, they said that everybody goes to bed at 2 a.m. The people that are... So, Gart probably goes to bed at 2 a.m. And then it's probably just empty. Alright, so here's the first thing I'm gonna do. I'm gonna come up here and talk to her again. She's still awake for a little while.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
She takes a sip from her silvery thermal cup. I got some more questions about reality. Oh, I can try Esprit de Corps again. 42%, because I got the RCM Chem debrief done. More lessons in basic reality. She's positively surprised. My favorite part of the day. Go ahead, ask me anything. Now that we're alone, what is pale? Are you sure you're sure? Your colleague seemed adamant. Yes, what is the pale? Okay, she concedes. The pale is the most dominant geological feature of the world, detective. The separative tissue between the isolas. It is the inter-isolary mass. Oh, wait. What's an isola? Isola is a Messinian word for a continent of matter enveloped on all sides by the pale. Also, isolation, or landmass. We used to believe there was only one. In the last 4 centuries, we have discovered 7. Mundi, Seol, Samara, Ilmara, Grad, Katla, and this, Insolind. Insolind is an oceanic isola. It comprises mostly of water. Mundi is the largest, Katla the coldest, Insolind the bluest. What can I say? He stops. Each is perishing and dear. Okay, what is the pale like? Achromatic. Okay, let's make up words. How about that? That'll be fun. Achromatic. Odorless. Featureless. The pale is the enemy of matter and life. It is not like any other, or anything in the world. It is the transition state of being into nothingness. Is it here? Look around. No, detective, we're safe. He points to the sea. It begins there, 6,000 kilometers to the north, and even more to the south, east, and west. You are in the middle of the isola. As your gaze instinctively turns north, a small black pit opens up in your stomach. 6,000 kilometers seems like a really long way. And there, pointing north, an uproar of matter, darling, rising into the pale, rolling, evaporating even, a great vision. The area of transition between the world and the pale is called porch collapse. Imagine a grey coronal mist, cold vapor, marked by spores of an opportunistic microorganism, a mold that's adapted to grow at the edge of the unrest. It's... She closes her eyes and breathes out heavily. The most disco thing you will ever see. You hear your pulse rise. The air feels caustic and cold suddenly. Well, how much pale is there compared to the world? The pale outweighs reality 2 to 1. There is more pale than there is matter, and the ratio is slipping. Slipping how? To our detriment, or? What do you think, detective? He looks you in the eye. It's growing. More and more of the pale. Precisely. One of the few measurable effects of the pale is that it is expanding at an unknown rate. An intuitive conclusion of that development is that one day the pale will cover everything. But this sort of talk is mostly left to extremists. Cover everything? That can't be. Where would we go? Most people, and indeed most private and government sector organizations, entire civilizations and religions even, find handy ways to ignore or downplay that knowledge. I suggest you do the same. Apocalypse. A pale calypse. If we're surrounded by pale, how do you get from Isola to Isola? Oh, it is... Her lungs deflate. Her words sound like a sigh. so difficult for us. Pour myself another drink here. Hold on. This is some crazy world building. See, I thought all of these continents were just separated by oceans, and they were just calling them isolas just to be fancy, but they're like everything. The isolas are basically like continents surrounded by a soup of antimatter that just destroys everything and renders it non-existent. It seems like it would be hard to travel through. It is possible to force dimensions on the Pale. In modern times, we can even compress its latitude, bouncing radio waves from one end to the other, shortening the path. Okay, what does that even mean? But it is still hard for humans to navigate the Pale without getting lost, or having our minds damaged.
Pale can damage the mind? Extensively. How? Some say the damage stems from extreme sensory deprivation. Others that Pale somehow consists of past information that's degrading. That it's rarefied past, not rarefied matter.
What? Alright, this is getting very esoteric now. Why does he say human? Are there others on this game? Well, I haven't seen any mention or evidence of any other intelligent species.
They call it the blend over of the self. The Pale does not only suspend the laws of physics, but also the laws of psychology, maybe history even. The human mind becomes over-radiated by past.
What does this over-radiation feel like?
It feels terrible. Absolutely terrible. International standards strictly limit civilian travelers to 6 days of Pale exposure per year.
You're not a civilian passenger?
No, nameless detective of the citizens' militia. I am a member of the Anthroponetic business class.
Let's make some more words up.
I'm cleared and trained for 22 days of Pale transit annually.
Wow, 22 days.
Perhaps that explains her strange pining after the revolution. Some degraded early memories.
Are you over-radiated?
Up to my gills, officer.
What's anthroponetic?
Anthroponetics, she corrects, is the scientific study of the Pale, or a recent iteration of it by way of grad. The study of the Pale reaches back 6,000 years. The Pericarnassians called it the Western Plain.
Did they cross it? The Western Plain?
There are signs of pre-modern crossings. Successful navigation of the Pale relies not just on technical know-how, but intensive psychological preparation. Some of these tactics have been known for thousands of years.
Or what has anthroponetics changed then?
Nothing. We remain powerless before the Pale. The only real advance in Pale transit is the speed with which an aerostatic craft can pierce it. Less exposure leads to less effects later.
Aerostatic craft?
Hybrid airships, detective. Conventional rotors or jet engines no longer add velocity after the point of reference for motion is suspended. Once you've crossed from near Pale to far Pale...
Sounds crazy.
In essence, we throw them in and they come out the other end. If we throw them precisely.
If we do not,
Then they don't.
what are its physical qualities?
It's difficult to describe, or even measure, something whose fundamental property is the suspension of properties. Physical, epistemological, and linguistic.
Just suspending prophecy properties all left and right.
The further into Pale you travel, the steeper the degree of suspension. Right down to the mathematical numbers stop working. No one has yet passed the number barrier. It may be impossible.
The number barrier. It's like the sound barrier, but for math. How the fuck numbers stop working? What does that even mean? What does it even mean? Let's return to reality, please.
Yes, sweet reality. She stomps her foot. But before we do, tell me, detective.
Numbers make up the world?
Is this the first time you hear this? You really not remember anything?
Nothing. Just alcohol fumes and blackout.
Then tell me, what do you think of the Pale?
Oh wow, we got options. She implying you might have gone through the Pale? That's what I was thinking, Askell. Maybe I have gone through the Pale. It's terrifying. It's disco. It will end all life. Testament to our faith in one another. Can only be stopped with communism. Is advance going to be stopped with immediate, total, ruthless communism? Her eyes tense. Crow's feet radiate from them. She observes you, your bloodshot eyes and swollen face.
You really didn't know? This does not spell good for the investigation, detective. If you don't know even this, then...
She stops mid-sentence. It'll be a fucking disaster, I know it. All these people will die.
Steel yourself, officer, she says in reassuring manner. Your colleague, Lieutenant Kitsuragi, he is competent. I checked up on him. And you also have me. I will try to assist you in any way I can. Some of that assurance is meant for herself, as much as it's meant for you. She must have a lot on the line here.
Ooh, I got another level. Another skill point and 30 more XP.
Even if we have to do it one basic term at a time.
She gives you a slight bow. So I can try this, but it's only 42%, and I don't know if it's going to hit me in the morale or not. That's all for now. Okay, that's all for now. Okay, so I have 2 skill points. I only need to save 1 for... Okay, so we did talk to Joyce about the pail. Time to level up my Shivers again. Well, I could choke down some Pyrrholodon, which would give me +1 Psyche, which would help me. Which would help me complete this.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
Let's take a stab at it. Nighty night for you. Okay, Askell, have a good night. Thanks for coming by. What is... Oh, I failed. Remains a mystery what you mean by this something close. This isn't about you. It's about reality. Alright. Unfortunately, I didn't make it on that one. I'll wait to ask for the other questions until the next day when we're back at this with Kim. Now there is somebody else I can try to talk to tonight. Is Cindy the Skull over here, up and about? Yep.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
No. Talk to the drunk guy. Better watch your mouth around me, boy. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else for me to do tonight except for maybe I can come over here and talk to... There's a lady over here that Kim wouldn't really let me bother too much. So now that I am bereft of Kim, I am Kimless, I might be able to get something going on here with this old lady. The woman still has her eyes fixed on the photograph in her hands. In the background, the radio plays. Grandma? Nothing. Her smile just keeps widening. Her hair is gray like lead. No, this one is a monster in disguise. Excuse me, ma'am. I'd like to ask some questions. No response. Wherever this woman is, your words fail to reach her. Oh, I can't
snap my fingers in front of her face or anything at this time. She's got the radio playing, huh? Let me ask you this, ma'am. How do you feel about a boombox? Boombox, 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 boombox. She doesn't seem to give a shit about boombox, boombox. Well, I don't know what to do with her then. Sad song on tape. It really wants you to do some police work. Yeah, I know, right? Okay, so I think it's about time to go to sleep because there's nobody left to talk to about anything. But there is one last thing that I can do before I actually go to sleep. And that's... Let's go ahead and go back into my room. And then we can do some reading. Some light reading. I need to raise my perception too so that I can find that damn tape that's supposed to be right.
Kind of light reading after. Well, I bought some books at the bookshop and I haven't looked at them yet. So, let's read some books. Green gum wrapper. The Greatest Innocence. There's my map. Medicinal Purposes of the Pale. Hjelmdaler Man, the man from Hjelmdal. And the man from Hjelmdal and the Devil Woman. Take a look at the Greatest Innocence. Wait. Quick save first, because this is the kind of game where you could legitimately die from reading a book. The Greatest Innocence by Leopoldo Salomão Lopez de Fuego. The book is large and heavy. Crack open this immense tome. Browsing through the various chapters, you try your best to understand the ceaseless overflow, the sprawl of names, dates, places, events historical. Most of it ends up as a twisted mass of facts inside your brain. Your educational survey is done. Did you catch any of that? No? Oh well, it's pop quiz time. Let's see what you've learned. This might take a few minutes. You ready? I'm not getting stuff happening here because I don't have enough intelligence skills, probably, to be making stuff out of this. Sure, why not? That's the spirit. Here we go. Question 1. Who was the first Innocence? Dolores Day. Okay, so we just learned about Dolores Day from a conversation we had just a bit ago. What if I guess these wrong? You know, I didn't really absorb anything from what I just read. Then go with your best guess. Isn't that what students are trained to do when they don't know the answer? Sola? Incorrect. Sola was anointed during the previous century and even lived to see the current one. She was an urban planner who spoke her mind and largely left history to its own devices, encouraging people to excel on their own rather than prescribing to a deified model of history. Deified models of history are for cowards. She is often called an anti-innocence. So is the innocence like a pope or something? Sola resigned after an assassination attempt by a Yugo nationalist, who blamed her for not taking the side of the left during the turn of the century revolutions. Innocences don't usually resign. Care to try again? The Pericarnassian? Correct. Nothing much is known about him. It's not even clear that he was a he, but Franco Negro presumed as such and called him pious. He's depicted as a young man with molten gold pouring out of his mouth. All he spoke was gold. It's said he invented God. He invented God, nice. An equality of men before God. He also introduced the gold standard as a way for measuring that love. Gold is the way of measuring the love of God? As the first Innocence, he declared that there should be more of those like him. It is presumed his disciples were the beginning of the Holy Party. Founding Party. Question 2. Who was the strongest Innocence? Dolores. Vesper Messina? Incorrect. Vesper Messina is not a person, but a defunct state on the I guess the name of a place. A defunct state on the southeastern coast of the Occident. It used to take up most of the peninsula before separating into the republics of Vesper and Messina. Care to try again? Franco Negro? Correct. Named the Innocence of militarism, he codified hereditary rule, but at the same time ended serfdom and established the inter-isolary real as the global reserve currency. Can you get XP and stuff such from the two? I'm sure you can, Splode. He also established the concept of the nation. Franco Negro attempted to solve the rising tensions between the aristocracy and bourgeoisie by building a unified society in which every man has a place and a mission, but at the same time may rise to nobility, provided on the strength of his virtue. Question 3. Who was the false Innocence? Okay, it wasn't Dolores Day. She's not false. No, Pasternak? Correct. There have been a number of counter or false Innocences. Some assumed to have innocentic qualities, some who just thought so themselves. Occasionally they have the support of a faction inside the ecclesiastic organization, and accusations of foul play have arisen. The most famous and important of these was Erno Pasternak. He was into torture, despotism, hymns, cannons, and world conquest. Torture, despotism, world conquest, and then just hymns are thrown in there. Like, you know, all that horrible atrocities, including hymns. This dude was all like, jubilation! But got defeated and humiliated by Stepan the Despicable of Kedra. Final stretch. You've come so far and learned so much. This is the most important one. Who was the greatest Innocence, the most important of them all, the most precious to humankind? Franco Negro? Incorrect. While Franco Negro built concrete churches and cathedrals, and while many people, especially the Mesque, consider him a father figure due to his militarism and nationalism, Yao Paulo Salomao Lopez de Fuego argues differently. Another choice, perhaps. Erno Pasternak? Incorrect. He was a violent bastard out to torture, maim, and kill, and sing at whoever stood in his way. He was also a false Innocence, disqualifying him from being the greatest and most important, and most precious to humankind. Would you like to try again? Dolores Day? Correct. The Mesque might see Franco Negro as the father of nations, but as of this century, there's been a great shift in attitude. Dolores Day has become widely regarded as the greatest Innocence. A most radical change to the whole fabric of the world. Everything from inter-isolary travel to the connected world to 3 consecutive scientific revolutions can be traced back to her. Every decade that passes, she seems less human somehow, and more beautiful. And more beautiful, and more beautiful. Congratulations on finishing the test. The results and your subsequent grade have been calculated. You get a C. Vaguely passable. A solid effort with nothing much else to show. Nice going. Mediocrity, man. This book is talking shit to me. You would have done better if you'd just dialed the Dolores Day down a bit. Damn you, you arrogant book! You are shouting at an inanimate object like a real weirdo. No wonder you seem to have trouble with the right answers. Man, something's weird about this book. You should do something fun instead. Rock out. Forget about it. Put the book away. We're going to take another stab at this. Ha! You ready? Fuck no, I'm not falling for your trickery again. Probably for the best. It wasn't looking too good for you anyway. Let's do better this time. It seems rather unfair to try again after you already know the answers, but sure, if this makes you feel better. Here we go again. Question 1. Who was the first Innocence? Dolores Day? Incorrect. Dolores Day was the Innocence of humanism, internationalism, and the welfare state.
She codified parliamentary democracy and created modern institutions, among these the moral intern. She was powerful and beautiful on all her icons. Her colors are silver, white, and apricot, and when you think her name, Dolores, stomach acid rises to the back of your throat and it hurts. You see a flash of silver, a wreath, an airport bag, and blonde hair. You don't know why. Another choice, perhaps? Steer clear of this one. Something terrible about this one. What? Oh no! I killed myself reading a book! Killed myself reading a book. I said I killed myself reading a book. I tried to read a book and then I died. Okay, so I have to reload my save because... Maybe I shouldn't try to read these books until after I've rested. I wonder... You go to sleep. I wonder how long you sleep for. Am I just going to sleep for 8 hours from whenever I go to bed? Or am I going to get up at a set time regardless of when I go to sleep? The bed is cold and not particularly inviting, but it's yours. Sheets look awful. Says I should trash my room again. I don't have any actual option to trash my room again, though. Okay. Do I sleep first? I'm going to test something. Okay, you ready for some testing? Go science. The sheets feel at once coarse and clammy against your skin. The bed sags beneath your weight as you stretch out and finally close your eyes. And then, sleep doesn't come. But I want to sleep. Obviously, you're in bed with your eyes closed, but it's not happening.
Why? Maybe it's the bed's fault. Maybe it's the bed's fault. Check the pillow. Its synthetic filling has separated into hard lumps. The pillowcase smells oddly. Let's check the blanket. It barely covers your toes, stretching over your soft belly. This is your body here, intimate and warm, breathing. Under your thrumming eyelids, you see a dizzying array of colors. You won't get off this carousel quite so easily. Let's roll over to the other side. That'll always do it. It's a little better. Colors, scenes, and half-formed phrases still litter your mind. Part of you is still trying to solve the case, isn't it? Who killed him? Who? Something to do with... what was it that the lieutenant said? Union? And it's gone again, your thoughts lost between the slowing brain waves. No more thoughts. Fall asleep now. Your breathing steadies. A great silence washes over you until your eyelids twitch in your sleep and images start forming. I'm gonna have some crazy dream sequence. Even in my dream, though, I'm carrying the bag. Why is there sliggins everywhere? Alright, hold on a second. I need to take a super fast 2-minute break. Stick around. Stay tuned. Don't touch that dial. I'll be right back in just 2 minutes. Even the Matrix, you still look homeless, right, Explode? I'll be right back in just 2 minutes. Hashtag super fast. Alright, I'm starting to feel a little drag ass, so I think I'm gonna pull that other Monster Ultra Red out of the fridge. And energize myself. Alright. Let's fuck this shit up. Ultra Combo! Correct. Okay. What if I walk into the misty... It's the pale! Okay, I can't walk into all that. There's sliggins. I don't know what all this sligginy water is. I like the fact that I haven't actually been up into this area in real life, but I'm going up there in my dream first. Amaranth. You're gonna start phase 2. Oh, cool. Good luck, Amaranth. You can do it. The answer is inside you the whole time. Ah, yes. The old disco ball and corpse dream. If I had $1 for every time... Oh, but it's me! The corpse on the tree is me. It's not the actual guy.
Do you remember the scent of your childhood?
Uh-oh, it's my ancient reptilian brain again. What is this?
What it says on the can, Harry. Answer the question.
I remember nothing.
Do you remember your wife's hand on your face?
You said, who?
Do you remember the warmth of her thighs between her legs and in her mouth?
This is getting very scandalous. Tell me what this is. I'm not answering before you tell me who you are.
You know who I am. I'm the bad day. The one where you ask her, and then later in the streets wandering. It's the worst day of all time, Harry dear. And it's coming. She will hear about it on the phone.
What is this?
Reality will turn into a grotesque nightmare. This will be the last thing you did to her. Tell me, do you remember the love of your life?
I was left.
That's right, funky baby. And you just stood there. One hand on the bottle, and the other on your dick. Watching her go. Let it all be dragged away from you. Tell me, where are your friends? Human beings have friends, Harry boy. Where the hell are yours?
I can get it all back.
No, it's gone. 3 times gone, and never coming back. You failed. You failed me. You failed Elysium.
What is Elysium?
Everything. The Pale and the Isolas on the surface. The outer magnetosphere. Burning, furious truth. 8,000 years of written history. You really dropped the ball, Harry. 4.6 billion people, and you failed every single one of them. You really fucked up.
I can come back from this.
You're not coming back from shit. Thrashing around in that high conductivity state of yours, bumping into things and acting like a clown? Who are you kidding?
My mind is tired and broken.
Your mind is what now? I can't hear you. The rest is just a word dream. Jumbled up garbage. The pictures are gone. The bed rises to meet you. a thin, sleep-like state. More glass than velvet grinding in your head.
Something is wrong. Sleep shouldn't be this bad. This dry, this unnourishing. There's something wrong with your thoughts. Some kind of new type of hangover.
God, there's another type?
Oh yes, party boy. And it's worse than the one before. Just think of the shit you saw. Here it comes too. So soon already. A silent alarm goes off in your head like clockwork. Barely let you sleep at all. Time to get those clothes on, Harry.
Wow. This was not a relaxing dream.
Time to go to work in the shit factory.
Alright, calm. You don't have to sound so happy about it, limbic system. My limbic system is a dick. So I woke up at 7:30. I definitely did not sleep for 8 hours. That was some science we had to do there. I did get all my health and morale back, though. Alright, what do we got going on here? Good going, buddy! God, what the hell was that? Oh, just a dream. You have ones like that all the time. You feel even worse this morning than you did last night. What the hell is going on with me? You mean, why are you so tired? Too tired and down to even think. It is worrying, isn't it? Can't be a detective like this. Detectives need to be able to think. Why is this happening? It's just that your heart has finally pumped all the speed out of your system, Buster. Time to get some more. Don't do that. Stay strong. The hangover will wear off. You don't need to keep doing this to yourself. Wait, what is speed? Speed is a potent central nervous system stimulant. It kept you propped up all day yesterday despite your debilitating hangover. How else do you think you even got up from this floor? Got up from this floor because of a holy vow you made 16 years ago. With me. To wake up exactly 7:30 every morning until the day you die. Don't be silly! There was no vow. You were high on speed. That was the only reason you got up. You can't detect without it. It's that simple. I need to get more of it then. Detecting is my life. Of course! Martinez is speed central. You just gotta poke around, follow your nose. Find speed and sniff it. Now we got a quest. That's my first task of Tuesday. The hangover is coming on mega strong now. You need more speed in your bloodstream. Find some, put it in your hand, and off we go. You and Speed will be happy again. You will make her come home. This time it will be different. I know that this is a bad idea. This game is great. Super great. I really want to read these books. It's really early in the morning. I can waste some time reading books. The bed is still cold from the broken window and not too inviting. But it's yours. You've earned it. Time to rest yet. Yeah, I have no idea what that is, Splode. I don't know. I don't know what the little squiggly lines between the things do. I have no idea what it does to have the... So, I'm wondering the same thing myself. Do some early morning reading. Oh, I didn't have this before. You can do it. It'll be worth it. There's something here. Okay, we're gonna do the quiz. Who's the first Innocence? Or anything? Dolores Day. Beautiful are icons. Another choice, perhaps. Steer clear of something. This one, there's something terrible. Okay, so I'm about to lose a point of morale, probably, but that's okay. What? Strange sensation of loss. When she left the earth, the dust and the ice and the humans. Oh, that is unimportant to the quiz. Stop thinking about this. Yes, the quiz is impersonal. No need to rouse sensations in yourself at the mention of Dolores Day. Who was the first Innocence? It wasn't Dolores Day. You feel like you wasted a bit of points on random thoughts that have nothing to do with my build, but I just wanted to see what they were. Probably play again with a bit more focus on the next playthrough that is. Yeah. Although I kind of think you're meant to do that. Like, they know people are going to be picking thoughts and not knowing what they do, and then wanting to get rid of some of them. So, I don't know. Incorrect. Alright, we tried. She's often called an anti-innocence. We read this. We read this. Molten gold, he invented God. Who's the strongest Innocence? Dolores Day. Incorrect again. While she originated many modern institutions, launched several successful expeditions, and was even critical of the Innocentic system itself, and somehow keeps popping up in your mind, she is not often considered the strongest. Even though the words most associated with her rule are l'amour, la compassion, l'autodiscipline, love, compassion, self-control, which could be seen as facets of strength. Would you like to try again? Picking on random thoughts is like real life. That's true, Amaranth. Relax. We'll try Vesper Messina again, then we try Ranco Negro. That's correct. Establish the concept of the nation. We read this before. Who was the false Innocence? Taurus?
No, stop thinking it. I said it wasn't her. She was true. Stepan the Despicable? Incorrect. Stepan the Despicable, regent of Kedra, was a ruler who conquered the known world during the Kedriatic conquest, instead of the despotic Erno Pasternak. Would you try again? Kedra? Incorrect. Kedra is a large nation in the mid-northern area of the Mundi Isola, north of the Occident, between the Ermeland mountain range and the Pisantic Mare Interregnum. Care to try again? No, Pasternak. Correct, and we read this before about the false Innocences. He was defeated by Stepan. Negro, incorrect. Erno, incorrect. But then we do Dolores Day. Correct. Radical change of the whole fabric of the world. Basically, she did everything. You get an F for failure. Ha ha ha. Because I picked the wrong thing literally every time. And then Inland Empire says that. Damn you, you arrogant book. You're shouting in an animal job. The necktie chimes in. Let's crack it open again. I can definitely do better this time. The first Innocence, Paracarnassian. Correct. Strongest Innocence, Franco Negro. Correct. False Innocence, Erno Pasternak. Correct. Most important, Dolores Day. Correct. Congratulations on finishing the test again. The results and your subsequent grade have been calculated. You get an A. All correct. Impressive. Oddly so. I got 5 XP for that. You really navigated some treacherous waters here. Well done. Got you this time. Not so smart anymore, are you? I'm talking to the book. Yeah, sure. It's so much easier once you know the answers, right? I wasted a lot of time there. A lot of time on that book. I kind of want to try... Okay, well... But then there's the map. Apricot chewing gum. Apricot, one of the colors of Dolores Day, they said. Alright, let's check out medicinal purposes of the pale. Medicinal purposes of the pale. The cover of this heavy tome features a number of esoteric symbols. Flipping through the book, you find a number of sections on the general benefits of the pale. A large pharmacopoeia makes up nearly half of the book. Of course, a pharmacopoeia. You come across the following explanation. While modern pharmacopoeia are continually updated by so-called experts based on the results of clinical trials, readers will find assembled here the timeless wisdom relied upon by generations of traditional Seolite medicine practitioners, mystics, and Ilmaran folk doctors. Finally, something to calm the angry spirits that have been plaguing you. It seems to contain descriptions of the medicinal properties of various ingredients that may be gathered from the pale, as well as instructions for producing a variety of herbal remedies. Soothe the relentless torment of my existence. Anything about curing an apocalyptic hangover? There's nothing in here that speaks to hangovers directly. However, while browsing through the various descriptions, you become convinced that you could assemble something from the ingredients listed here. Want to give it a shot? Alright, book, let's see what you got. First, you need to choose a base ingredient. Ginger root. Next, you'll need to combine the base ingredient with an appropriate vehicle. Mix it with a dram of whiskey. Lastly, is there anything else you'd like to add? A few pomegranate seeds. The tincture you've invented sounds intriguing, but its medicinal value is suspect, to say the least. Safe to say it won't cure your hangover. Whoever wrote this never heard of the hair of the dog. Fuck this book! See if there's a bar open that'll still serve you. Would you like to try again? Yeah, let's try again. This eats up a lot of time. Ginger root. Tea from a birch bark. Pomegranate seeds. Yet this is a good way to make time pass. You've created a delicious tincture of whiskey and ginger. According to the pharmacopoeia, it should increase your energy and focus, though in your experience it's only done the opposite. If only you could find one of these right now and drink the shit out of it. The book said it's good for you, so it'd be okay. Alright, I'm eating on my whole day is the problem with this. So, I feel like I should be doing these at night. Before going to bed. Because I think I basically have unlimited time that I can fuck around with at night. But I could be wrong. Start with this book again. Let's see what happens if we get them all right the first time. You get an A. All correct. Impressive. Oddly so. Hey, Sat. Take that, you book. You're really just talking to yourself. It's quite silly. See, once you get to 2 a.m., time kind of stops passing, which is a little bit weird.
can't do this one though because I'll get crushed by... How strange that time stops passing when you get to 2 a.m. Okay. So see, I essentially have unlimited reading time late at night. Let's go to medicinal purposes of the pale. Okay. What's a pharmacopoeia? Actually, hold on. Let's make sure we've saved here. I don't want this book to kill me. I keep saying the same thing, even when I pick different... Seems like anytime I pick ginger... Now it's just saying that no matter what the fuck I pick. All it says is whiskey and ginger endlessly. I guess that's the only recipe you can actually discover. Whiskey and ginger. I think I just want some general health advice. Have you taken any walks through the Pale recently? Maybe. And on your walks, do you stop to meditate on the nature of your being? No, I don't. You need to do that. It's important for opening up your agiogenous zones. Okay, let's make some shit up. What are agiogenous zones? They're a series of psychic nodes located throughout your body. Unfortunately, the stresses of modern life often cause us to close off our agiogenous zones, which can result in all manner of physical and psychic ailments. Regular meditation in the Pale, however, can help to open up these zones, permitting the free flow of psychic energy throughout the body. Oh, then I do. Very much so. I meditate all the time. Good. And when you meditate, are you in the nude? What? No. Nudity is the most important part. Of the many ways modern society prevents our true selves from manifesting, clothing may be the most repressive. You probably can't even take off your pants, can you? Oh, good. I just don't feel like it. That feeling is the weight of society bearing down on you. Until you get out from under it, you will never feel true freedom. Excellent. Free your body! You long to feel the cool breeze tickle against your inner thighs and midriff. What about your junk? Well, yeah, on your junk, too! Your genitalia are the site of your most important agiogenous zone. It's vitally important to aerate them in the pail. I gotta aerate my dick in the pail. A note of caution, however, be sure to limit your exposure to the pail to no more than an hour a day, and no more than 3 hours total per week. I'm gonna put the book away. That's a crazy one. That's a crazy one. Alright, let's read some fucking Conan. Hjelmdaler Man, the man from Hjelmdal. The cover of this tattered paperback features the man from Hjelmdal standing atop a pile of bloody corpses. His two Zweihänders are crossed over his massive chest in a dramatic X, their blades dripping with gore. Hell yeah! Behind him rise the harsh, snow-capped peaks of his native Northlands. In bold red letters, the title Hjelmdalerman, the man from Hjelmdal, unfurls like a banner. In the foreground, a nearly nude woman lies spread in supplication, her privates strategically covered by her flowing black hair. This is like a Boris Vallejo cover. These images speak to something burbling deep within you. Quick! Find someone or something that needs to be gutted, beheaded, impaled on a spike. Let's look at the back cover. The back blurb reads, his latest adventure serves as the perfect introduction to the savage Hjelmdal saga. Meet Man from Hjelmdal, his faithful blood brother Tyrbald, the noble Lord Hrothgar, and some of their most fearsome foes yet. For the Northlands! For Hjelmdal! Read the first couple of pages. The story opens in media res. The man from Hjelmdal and his band of northern reavers are in the bowels of an ancient temple, surrounded by an army of gibbering whites, led by the deathless necromancer. One by one, the brave Northmen fall to the relentless crush of undead, only to join their number as reanimated corpses. By nightfall, only the man from Hjelmdal and his blood brother, noble Tyrbald, are left standing against the dead horde. It is an honor to die by your side, brother, Tyrbald cries as his battle axe beheads one of their reanimated comrades. Wow. They're in trouble now. 9, Tyrbald! The man from Hjelmdal bellows over the army of flesh and bone. Have courage! For the Northlands! For Hjelmdal! He leaps to the mezzanine to face the black-eyed figure, and like a mad ice bear, whirling twin Zweihanders, Sturm and Drang, he plows through the ranks of the deathless, surrounding the necromancer. And with deadly finesse, his twin blades scissor the necromancer's head from its body. The undead legions collapse like ragdolls as the dark magic leaves them, and the two Northmen stand alone in the accursed temple, where the bodies of their lost brothers litter the floors. I'll skip ahead. A few chapters later, the man from Hjelmdal and Tyrbald are in a completely different setting. High above an arid desert, riding a pair of griffins that always seem to appear at narratively convenient moments. Thanks, griffins.
The Northmen find themselves in the court of a powerful southern king, Lord Hrothgar. The old king beseeches the man from Heimdall to lead his kingdom of the Nachtherrer, a subterranean clan of blind wizards who traded their souls for demonic powers. The man from Heimdall extracts a high price from the desperate king. He asks land for the homeless desert pygmies living exiled in the kingdom's borderlands. Hrothgar offers the hand of his eldest daughter instead, but the son of winter does not budge. All aboard for slaughter and glory! Keep reading. You skip past a section detailing an elaborate banquet with many toasts, as well as the long and perilous journey from Hrothgar's keep to the ancient forest of Yezdor, where our heroes infiltrate the Nachtherrer's dire hall. In the center of the great hall stands a blood altar on which a pair of Nachtherrer are disemboweling a shrieking peasant, an unholy rite that empowers the Nachtherrer forbidden magic. As the vile ceremony ends, the sound of steel unsheathing draws the Nachtherrer's attention to a pair of cloaked figures standing in the doorway. This is what you came for, isn't it? A climactic bloodletting, where men are reduced to muscle and fury. Swiftly the visitors toss off their cloaks and unsheath glimmering northern steel. It's the man from Heimdall and his valiant blood brother Tyrbald. Whoa. I did not see that coming. In an instant, the Nachtherrer summon a horde of gibbering orcanoids who rush our heroes. The hall fills with the clang of blades and the screams of the dying as the floor goes slick with steaming orcanoid viscera. When the den of battle settles, only the man from Heimdall and Tyrbald remain standing. Exhausted and dripping with the entrails of their foes, the two Northmen confront the foul Nachtherrer. The man from Heimdall's soda-light blue eyes fill with indescribable fury. For the Northlands, he cries, rushing headlong into a desperate melee. Cut him up, $1 man. He probably is, but you can't be sure, because this one ends in a cliffhanger and a footnote. To be continued in $1 Man at the Gates of Tomorrow, coming soon to your local bookstore. The man from Heimdall stares at you on the cover, his face fixed in grim resolve. Nice. And there's one more. The man from Heimdall and the Devil Woman. Again, we better save before we tackle this, just in case. That kind of stuff going on there. Bloody, yeah. The edges of the pages are worn and smudged. A lot of people have read about the Devil Woman's altercations with the Heimdall man. Look at the back cover. The jacket copy proclaims, "Man from Heimdall returns in his most exciting adventure yet. After crashing into a strange jungle, cannibalistic natives abduct his only surviving comrade, noble Tyrbald." Before man from Heimdall can mount a rescue, he is ambushed by a tribe of female warriors and taken to the ancient citadel of Cloud City, where a mysterious and wicked queen rules supreme. Will man from Heimdall be able to escape his dire situation and find his missing friend? Time to flip through the book. You open the book to a random page. Man from Heimdall, wielding his two Zweihanders, is carving through a sea of dark-skinned savages, his visage fixed in grim determination. his arms whirling like windmills or soaked with the blood of his enemies. Mangled corpses litter the battlefield. You flip to the copyright page. This book was written in 38. Oh shit, gritty and heroic. Berserker rage burns in his azure-hued eyes as he brings glory and honor to his long-lost Helmdaller tribe from the village of Helmdall. The ivory giant roars like an ice bear, and the winds of Katla howl out his name. Give me more! Man from Helmdall rides on a gilded griffin, his golden mane billowing in the breeze. Both Zweihanders sheathed on his back, he is off to war. Will he conquer his enemies? Will he conquer himself? Onward! The steel muscles of Man from Helmdall gleam in the humid jungle air, yet the man does not sweat. In meditation, his soul drifts in the frigid Northlands. He calls home. Holy shit! This is so me! Really get into the book. The passage reads, The man from Helmdall looks up, his eyes blue as the mountain lakes of his homeland. He rarely speaks, but now his voice booms in the darkened throne room. Hit by lots of yawns. This energy drink is... well, it's not working quite as well as I would have hoped. Do not try to sap my masculine essence, wicked temptress. Son of Helmdall will never succumb to your seductive wiles. Thine spells are no match for purity and strength of will. Brothers of Helmdall, stand above the vices of flesh, for it is weak and corruptible, yet mine is forged in gore and strife. Queen Liliana just laughs, a sultry and salacious sound, then says, I have grand plans for you, man from Helmdall. She gestures her diabolical hand toward an array of potions and unguents. First you shall please me, then lead my armies against the vicious cannibals. Not a muscle moves in the face of man from Helmdall, yet inside there is turmoil. This goes against all he holds sacrosanct. Kept hoping it would get better, but the writing is terrible and repetitive. Wow, this is epic! In the final pages, man from Helmdall mounts Galawaran, his mighty griffin, and turns his gaze to the horizon. Queen Liliana is dead, but an army of cannibals is storming the gates, and there's still no word of trusty Tyrbold. To find out what happens next, you'll have to pick up Man from Helmdall and the Three-Eyed Skull, available in fine bookstores everywhere, Spring 39. So we did some reading. Let's give this a chance. I kept hoping it would get better. The writing is terrible and repetitive. What do you even know about literature? Have you ever read a book in your life? See, now the book is getting sassy with me. Maybe. I don't know. Man from Helmdall has no time for illiterates. The book is done with you. That's awesome. I just got told off by a book. Alright, so we got some work done there with the books. Without wasting any of our precious time. Now we've got to go through the dream and everything again, but we'll just go through it real fast.
book is done with you. Oh man. Why so much yawning right now? I don't think I'm going to be able to keep going too much longer. Hashtag sleepy snake. Sleepy snake. My own dead body hanging from the tree. Symbolism.
What it says on the can, Harry. Do you remember your wife's hand? Do you remember the warmth of it? You know reality will turn. That's right. Tell me. Where? No, you failed everything. You really dropped the... You're not coming back from shit. Your mind...
Something is wrong. Sleep shouldn't be this bad. This dry. Oh yes, but time to go to work in the shit factory.
Shut up, limbic system. I got all my stuff back. And I'm back on my feet. And it's 7:30 in the morning. And now I gotta get the quest to get speed. Find speed and sniff it. Alright. We are ready for another day. I definitely need to go buy some more magnesium. Well, you know what's a good way to get everybody awake in the morning? A boombox. Good morning. Boombox time. I think this one will hurt me if I... How come I don't get the pop-up that shows me the percentage? Boombox morning. Boombox morning. It's day 2. Wake up, sleepyhead. How come quick save isn't working? What the hell's going on with this game? F5 isn't working. What was the other thing that didn't work a second ago? Oh yeah, the mirror thing wasn't showing. Oh, it won't let me save right now. The bold move. Alright. I punched the door again. Well, where the hell is my partner? I guess he's probably already downstairs waiting for me because he probably got up earlier than I did. Good morning. Now can I quick save? Still no. I didn't realize my character's head turns to face the mouse too. Interesting. Hey, Luna's here. Boxes. Morning. He
Morning.
gives you a voice acted himself. Gives you a quick nod. Looks like we can get to work at once. The Union muscle turned up. He points to the mess hall doors. They look rowdy. We should talk to them. Are these the men Gart told us about yesterday? I completely forgot. He looks at his notes. Sorry. I had a rough night's sleep. It's them by the looks of it. Loud and nasty, just like the manager said. Oh, I got plus 30 experience. He crosses something out. One loose thread less to worry about. And one big problem to replace it. What do you mean, rowdy? I mean ungovernable. Martinez isn't exactly enthusiastic about the RCM being here. They prefer to be policed by the Union. These men here, men who drink beer for breakfast. There's talk of an armed wing of the Union called the Hardy Boys, who are responsible for said policing. I think it's them. Why do we need to talk to them? A lot of things point to the Dockworkers Union. The circumstances in Martinez, my preliminary information. Actually, that's not a lot of things. We should have dug up more yesterday. Still, we need to talk to them, and it won't be easy. Let's roll. One more thing before we do. He glances at the booth again. We don't have to talk to them immediately. We can rock right past them, continue with our business. Good. A power move. Purposefully concentrate on something else first. They're in no hurry to leave. They think they own the place. Anyway, I leave that choice to you. Whatever you decide is fine by me. Okay. Well, we did get the find out about the dudes thing done. We do have a lot of tasks. A lot of tasks.
Yes?
I still can't save? Why can't I save? Is my game like buggy or something? Is there an autosave? No. It's just a save that I did before I went to bed. Super weird that I can't save.
Can I help you?
help me save. Money Man is here. This guy really likes talking about money. Hey, the gardener here. I don't think the gardener's really a gardener. This is what I studied law for. There's a bunch of those assholes in there. But I just want to get to somewhere where I can save the game. So I guess I'm going to step outside and hope that it will let me save. Otherwise, we kind of have an issue here. Okay, it still won't let me save. I don't know what to do about that. Why won't it let me save? Yeah, I tried to persuade that thing to open, but it didn't work. Why won't it let me save? Do I need to load my previous save and go all the way through the night again? I hope not.